Hey guys, so this will be kind of a reaction. Um, Teaser trailers for the characters. I've watched Mondstadt and Liyue, like all of those back in the day, but I pretty much stopped watching them once we got to like Sumeru. And Sumeru, I think I watched only Nahida's, Fontaine only Niverlet and Farina, and then I don't think I watched any of the Natlin ones. So yeah, it's a reaction because most of them I haven't seen. Um, but all the teaser trailers, it's only 40 like 45 compared to like what 75, 76, and they're all about like a minute long, so it shouldn't take too long, hopefully, to get through. It should just be one video. So, but without further ado, official can't lose just yet.
吾乃菲谢尔，断罪之皇女，漆黑尽灭的统御者。遥望蒙德，无知领地中的小小花园，真是令人心情愉快。哼，来了吗？无知宿敌，邪龙塔斯拉克哟！无知锋利，解放！千年的争斗，就在今天画上休止符吧！ 大幻梦森罗万象，狂气断罪炎，让这黑暗的圣洁火焰将汝化为灰烬。正是如此。就这样，罪孽深重的邪龙被我完美镇压。这样啊，不愧是你。哼哼。
小艾米，该回家吃饭了。
爸爸，你自己先回家了。 不对，本皇女是断罪的菲谢尔，谁是小艾米啊
Oh, Amy. So as you can clearly see, her name is Amy. Her name is not official. She's just taking on the kind of personality and everything of a story that she read when she was a kid. She fell in love with. You know, Oz is based on the companion that the princess had, and so, you know, she was able to indulge herself in that fantasy when she was a kid, and her parents had no problem playing along with it. But then she got to an age, it's like, Amy, stop. You're not this princess, okay? But then when she got her vision, she was able to create a familiar of herself in the form of Oz. And yeah. So even though she's still Amy, but she kind of carries out this Princess and Deva Ertelung sort of persona, talking out in her own little language and stuff like that, messing up sometimes and breaking character. But then we have Oz, who, if we don't know what she's talking about, you know, he's just like, what made Fraulein means to say is, you know, it's like, oh, well, thanks, Oz. Thanks for being the translator here. A closed beta test preview? Oh, enjoy Liyue's scenery with Amber. Wow. Wow. Oh, that's old. Yeah, it's odd that they haven't gone back to redo any of these older ones, especially that they're in Chinese or Japanese or whatever. I said with the demos, they really need to redo like Kaya's and hers, and just you give some to the ones that have been around. Like Jean doesn't have one, Razor doesn't have one, Bennett doesn't have one. You know, give them some love. Like everyone else has a demo except for like these earlier characters. Time to give Kaya some love. Anyway.
Hey, traveler, I'll let you in on a little secret. Did you know there are monsters that come out at night in Mondstadt? Shh, be quiet. I'll tell you everything, but you can't tell nobody. After everyone is tucked up cozy in their beds for the night, monsters pretending to be the Knights of Valorias come out to trick people. I can even hear their footsteps from inside the confinement room. And so, boom! I blasted the door open to defend Mondstadt from the monsters. But the Master Gene who grabbed me and dragged me away was really scary. Scary like Master Gene not like some monster. So strange. Anywho, you mustn't tell a soul. Kaya's the one who told me the secret about the monsters. He didn't tell nobody else but me.
Oh, Kaya, coaxing Klee into escaping from solitary confinement, it seems.
Perhaps we've made the child's studies a little too imaginative lately.
Kaya's such a jerk. Look, like, you see her, she's so thrilled and happy about it. And then you see Kaya, like, like, this is the same dude who was like, I heard about a legendary sword. And then we get to the end of the domain and he's like, oh, by the way, I was just kidding. There is no legendary sword. The sword, it's not about the sword. It's about the experience and the friends you made along the way. I'm a jerk. Yeah, but she gets sent to the confinement room and this dude is like, you know, trying to slip her sweets or try to break her out. You know, it's like she's in the confinement room for a reason. Jean is her mother while her mother isn't around. And Kaya just does everything to undermine everything that everyone else does. But in the end, he has a good heart. And he's looking after someone who he sees as a little sister. So you can't really hold it against him. I mean, he doesn't get much attention from his sibling. Even though him and D-Luke aren't actual siblings. He's adopted. D-Luke's father adopted him. But, you know, he sees Klee as this little sister and, you know, and he wants to be the cool big brother, the one that, while everyone else is reprimanding her and, you know, giving her a hard time, he's the one who's like, it's all right, Klee. I'll make sure you get out of solitary confinement. You know, and then, like, he'll open the door and she, like, does anyone see me, Mr. Kaya? The coast is all clear, Klee. And then she's just like, you know, like it's some kind of bank heist. But he cares a lot. He's a good person and he cares about Klee, which is why he does what he does. Plus, it's to piss Jean off, so he's like, why not?
Sir, need you personally see to such a routine matter?
Relax. I have other matters to attend to as well.
Excellent. Even if one day we can't continue business here, we can make it far away with this.
But Master, what about the debt?
Oh yes, I'm here to collect that.
Who's there? Quick, guards! Protect the Master!
No matter what it is you owe, you can't run from your debt. Is that not the law of the god of contracts in Liyue?
Fatui? You can't just barge into a private residence? Guards, show him how we treat unwelcome guests at Yanshang Tea House.
Not much for adversaries. Well, I could always use a bit of exercise.
I never would have thought that an ordinary person had a sigil of permission in their possession. It's been years since anyone has seen one of these.
Your job is debt collection, yet you failed to check what treasures he possessed that you might collect?
Apologies, a dereliction of my duty.
Enough. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Worldwide. That's how everyone refers to him. He just pops up everywhere. Yeah, the sigil personation. They were making a whole bunch of those, so that way, I mean, it was part of the whole plan that Zhang Li kind of put in motion. He got the help of Signora and Child, and basically made a deal with the Saritsas, like, oh hey, yeah, you lend me your Fatui, because I want to do something, and you know, you'll get the Gnosis that you want. Which I've said before, I think Zhang Li is one of the only people who actually truly know what the Saritsa's up to, because he's not going to hand over his Gnosis if he thinks that, like, oh, I'm going to hand it to her and then she's going to destroy my nation. No, I think he fully knows what she plans on doing with the Gnosis. So that's why he was so willing to hand it over. Not to mention, we then learn that, you know, because it's made of the third Descender, you know, they're sort of like curses. So, You know, Zhongli has said, well, I'm not going to talk about Zhongli just yet, but yeah, they're making a bunch of sigils of permission, and eventually, you know, you fight Child in the Golden House, and things happen. You got Osile, Lord of the Vortex, Overlord of the Vortex, coming out, and you know, and all was a test. It was all a test by Zhongli to see if Liyue can handle things without him. And of course, Child finds out that, you know, he was just a kind of a pawn because he didn't know what was going on. He thought it was just like a Fatui mission. Signora didn't tell him what was going on, and Zhongli didn't tell him what was going on. He just was playing his part. So he gets all mad about it, and he's like, "Hey, no hard feelings. I do like you. I consider you a friend. I was just doing my job. Yeah, as a Fatui Harbinger, I'm just doing my job here. So no hard feelings. Let's fight again sometime." Good guy, good brother. Also, we're up to Zhongli again. Ladies, if you don't want any children, I suggest you look away. Men, same thing. You may or may not become pregnant after this, so just warning you.
This is me, fairy lady at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. No one of importance. This gentleman beside me is our most knowledgeable consultant, Mr. Zhongli.
This Noctilucous jade is small, but a beautiful shade of translucent blue. It would be a shame not to buy it.
Yes, sir.
Pasting a windwheel aster to wet glaze before it is fired in the kiln? Fascinating. The flower turns to ash, but its shape is forever retained. Such genius. It would be a pity to not purchase this.
Yes, sir.
Core lapis is itself hard to gather. It must have taken true skill indeed to unearth two pieces so alike. We should buy them.
Yes, sir. A fine Noctilucous jade, artisan porcelain, and a pair of core lapis, and a windwheel aster as a gift for the fairy lady. Yes, he even got me a gift. Mr. Zhongli truly is an amazing person.
When Shengling is cooking, it would be far more appealing to go to Wanmin Restaurant as opposed to Sinuer Kiosk or Lioli Pavilion.
I'm fine with anything so long as it's good. But do they only have chopsticks?
You will need to be adept with chopsticks if you are to truly appreciate Liyue's gastronomy.
Mr. Zhongli, we have Springvale boar on the menu today. Would you like to try it instead of the salt and pepper tofu?
We'll have both.
In accordance with Snezhnayan customs, we gave Xiangling a tip for her amazing new dish. Mr. Zhongli values friendly touch.
Also, I love this stuff, like they're counting up, and then this one for Child. Pair of Dragon and Phoenix pattern chopsticks. Hopefully the Snezhnayan diplomat will practice using them. But that's crazy. 128,000 mora for a pair of chopsticks. Now, I don't know the conversion rate between this and what it would be in US dollars, but... And then he tips her almost 900 mora. I mean, that's crazy. But a Springville... Real life... I mean, there's steak that costs up to $100. I wonder if anyone's figured out the kind of mora to US dollar conversion yet. Either way, he just spends. But I love this. So hopefully the Snezhnayan diplomat will practice using them.
Eyes over Mora, and is generous in word and deed. Well, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor often foots the cost of his generosity. But thankfully, the Northland Bank is bearing this particular bill.
In other words, usually it's Hu Tao who fronts him the bills for all of this. But she has a funeral parlor, so she's making plenty of money. But this time, it's Fatui money, the Northland Bank. So it's all Fatui money, so it's okay for them to spend it.
Welcome, come in. Excluding this pair of hairpins, everything else is for sale.
They're not for sale. Why not?
These are heirlooms pawned by a poor fellow to scrounge together money for his wife's medication. I must hang on to them for him until the redemption period expires.
Oh.
I paid off the shopkeeper and took this pair of hairpins. seeking to return them to their owner with some living expenses on the side. Please help me to conceal these expenses in our accounts, would you? I will be sure to buy you lunch. Honestly, once you become entangled with Mr. Zhongli, there's no getting away from him at all.
Is that really a bad thing? I mean, the guy is a gentleman in every sense of the word. You know, it's like, yeah, we should buy this. Here, I bought you something too. Oh, let me treat you to lunch. It's like, oh, this guy had to, pawn these off for his wife's medication. Well, I'm going to take him, pay this guy off, and then give this guy lots of money so he can survive with his wife for a while. Like, he's kind and generous, and of course, he's never had to really worry about money because he's Morax. He could just create more out of nowhere. But he's decided not to do that because he's kind of stepped down as Archon for the most part. He just wants to live life as a normal person. So pretty much whatever more is in circulation and in the Golden House, that's the more that's there. He's not going to be making more anymore. So that's why he's been, when you do the quest, why he's so stingy with everything, asking us to pay for it, because he's no longer making Mora. He wants to live a normal, regular life, which is why he's been doing consultancy over at the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, because he's got to have a job. You know, he's not the Archon, Morax or, Rex Lapis anymore. He's just Zhongli. So, but I think Hu Tao doesn't really care. She deals with death. I mean, as long as people are dying, people are going to come to the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor for, so she's rolling in money. So she doesn't have to worry too much. She tries to do her little 2-for-1 special for coffins and all that, but she's making more than enough money dealing with death. So that's why she has no problem, fronting him with bills or whatever, because she knows he means no harm, and he makes more than enough money for them. So
alchemy is a mysterious art that revolves around all living things, and the study of life, in particular, requires painting.
Yes, you certainly make wonderful paintings of anything that piques your interest, Mr. Albedo.
Arise, lifeless dust of the universe and that within. Thou art reborn. Do you understand now, Sucrose?
Simply amazing, Mr. Albedo.
Next, I will paint the common V-shape. I find the carapace to be its most enjoyable feature, the intricate patterns, and even its sheen. But the rest of the V-shape is quite ordinary, and requires but a few quick brushstrokes. Voila! Arise, lifeless dust of...
Excuse me, Mr. Albedo, but I fear creating such creatures may sit outside the sphere of acceptability within our roles as alchemists.
Oh, is that so?
Just like always, overly passionate about what piques your interest, yet completely indifferent towards anything otherwise. Your swing in interest this time didn't even leave you long enough to finish your painting.
oh, what a life you must live after that. Walking around being made fun of the others of your kind because your body isn't complete yet. And it's never going to be complete. You're gonna walk around with see-through legs, transparent tail, and just like... It's so sweet. Just being able to... The alchemy and just being able to create something out of nothing. He's basically playing God.
The night scenes of Liyue, the lantern light of centuries. Only I know that this rising star has come far in the millennium past. Only I remember the hours at which dew forms on the glaze lilies and disappears again. 106,327 heartbeats, the time that has passed since I last knew rest. Packing up the stalls, closing up the pavilions. One can almost hear the streetlights going out. It is as it is night after night, ever so distant from me. The night of Leah, over. Now that you know the secrets of the night, would you accompany me to work overtime?
No way!
Ganyu. Hardworking as usual. Would you want to spend overtime with her? I think most people would be fine just getting crushed between her thighs, as she did so long ago to a poor enemy of hers. Crushed him between her thighs. Crush me, mommy. But I'm probably not going to go too deep into these characters. I'm not going to go too deep into Ganyu. Up top. No, I'm kidding. I talked about them much more in depth with the character demos. So, you know, I don't want it to be a 3-4 hour video like last time. So, we're just going to keep it on.
Give you a fright? Honestly, who comes to Wuhong Hill in the middle of the night? This place isn't as safe as you'd believe. Come with me. I'm Hu Tao, Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor Director. Let me help you cross over. Yeah, help you cross over the hill, not cross into the afterlife. Huh? And why are the butterflies our guides? Well, because they want to be Sealies when they grow up. Though that walking encyclopedia Zhongli would no doubt have a completely different explanation. Okay, you should be safe from here. Next time, don't go running around in dangerous places. Of course, if you really insist on adventuring, then be my guest. Adventurers are our VIP clients after all. We even have coupons for you. Oh, do you have a travel buddy? We're having a sale. Second client half price.
I love her sense of humor. Like, well, our best customers are travelers. You can probably understand why. So we've got a deal going on. 2 for the price of 1. I love Hu Tao. She's probably one of the best characters in the game. Her dark sense of humor, the respect that she has for the dead, just everything about her aesthetic, her voice, Brianna Knickerbocker. Just, I love every time we get to see Hu Tao, except for when she did that terrible rap of hers during Lantern Rite. That was no. I love you, Hu Tao, baby girl. I love you. No, that was stupid. But anytime we get to see Hu Tao, it's great. I love the character. Travelers are our best customers.
One millennium ago, when the aristocracy fell at last from grace, the Defender of the South banished tyranny from the city gates, while the West spread her wings and took her rightful place. The Wanderer in the North settled with the Wolven race. As the 4 winds blew, to all corners they flew, but much was to be done to build Mondstadt anew. The animal god called on them, each one in turn. First their leader, the West Wind, though he found himself spurned. The Lionfang Knight was less than impressed. I've no time to join you and sing, dance, and jest, for you see to these 3 while I handle the rest. Next did he track down that leader of wolves. Asked him to tame his most unbridled of souls. The wolf leader growled he would not be contained. Do not lecture me, bard, you who are the least restrained. So the animal god implored the friend he'd known first. to blow the ice from the face of the earth, that verdance and freedom could once more be birthed. But the dragon had known his bard god friend too long. He would not share the work, but dictate it through song.
Do some real work, Barbados.
Oh, Dvalin. But yeah, we saw Vanessa. It was kind of talking about, how, the aristocracy was the Lawrence clan. They were ruling over Mondstadt. Venti and Vanessa kind of rebelled against them. Or rather, he kind of pushed her in the right direction. Like, hey, you should start a revolution. Get the Lawrence clan out of here because they're a bunch of bad people. So with the help of her and others, and they kind of defeated the Lawrence clan, killed a lot of them, banished the rest of them. And the ones that remain, well, not really in that great of a place right now. Then she became the first Grandmaster of the Knights of Avonius. And then when she finally died, she ascended to Celestia. But Venti, again, I've went in more depth with him in the character demo. He's not, what we see is not really him. He's actually an Animo spirit, like this tiny little thing. And the form we see is the one of his friend. So with his friend, old Mondstadt, battle, war, his friend who was a bard was there, he died, and well, he took the form of his friend. So kind of honor his memory, kind of like with Stanley, the guy with the, if you go through there with the Mayor Javari and all that, and Stanley the adventurer, his friend isn't actually named Stanley, and it's not actually him, but he's kind of honoring his friend by taking on this moniker of Stanley. So it's kind of the same thing. But Venti, still an Archon, but the weaker of them, since the Archons gain their power from their people's faith in them, but he's the god of freedom, so people can choose to or to not worship him. So compared to, say, Zhongli or Raiden Shogun, he's one of the weaker of the Archons. So he's still really strong though. Like, he's not weak in any sense of the word. He's still a god. So don't let people make you think he's weak because people don't pray to him as much. No, he can still blast mountains apart with his wind. So he's not weak. But yeah, one of my favorite Archons.
Thanks for sharing the table with me. To think all the other patrons are actually avoiding me. I'll remember this. Seriously, they cared that much about my lineage? Even if I were out for vengeance, they'd have to wait their turn.
The Gunhilder clan, the Roggenvinder clan, and the Lawrence clan are the three most prominent families in Mondstadt's history. Among them, the Lawrence clan became blinded by their desires, plunging Mondstadt into a dark era under the aristocracy's oppression. In time, Lady Vanessa overthrew the aristocracy and established the Knights of Favonius, while the Lawrence clan quickly fell into obscurity. Over the next 1,000 years, their flame of vengeance continued to flicker and burn, but never again did it ignite into a blaze. Perhaps the finishing blow to the Lawrence clan was she who is known as the Spindrift Knight, most gifted descendant of the Lawrence clan, Eula, joining the Knights of Favonius. Although the word vengeance is always upon her lips, she has proved time and again that she is a kind-hearted and honorable ally.
Hey, when a noble woman is speaking, you are to lower your drink and look her directly in the eyes. You really ought to learn some proper etiquette. I bet it's that Gunhilder girl talking about me behind my back again. Mark my words, vengeance will be mine.
So the other two families are Diluc's family, and I think Jean's. So they're the kind of the other like nobles of, and this is what I was just talking about. You know, and Eula is probably one of the most important characters in Mondstadt because of who her family is and what they were doing, and that they were overthrown by Vanessa, and so she's probably one of the most important people in Mondstadt. But yeah, her family was they were just bad people. They were bad people. Like if people in the real world want to see, you know, talk about racism and oppression, these were the people you would look to. These people were really oppressing others, and they were real racists. You know, they didn't just say mean things. No, they enacted it. And everyone was living in fear because of this family. But yeah, but like I said, I don't want to go into too much because I don't want to be here forever and take too much time when I explained all this in the demos. But now Eula kind of spends her time trying to show that just because her name or her last name is Lawrence and she's a part of this clan, that clan, that it doesn't define who she is. She's parts of the Knights of Favonius, and she's working as hard as she can to protect Mondstadt and kind of show that, hey, I'm not my family. These other people who are remaining here who are my family, yeah, I'm not like them. So don't you dare lump me in with them. You know, a family name doesn't define who you are. So really, really cool of her. Constantly loves the whole vengeance will be mine, and I will seek vengeance, but most of the time she doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it. Also, I just had to make sure that I was right. Yeah. Gunhilder. Jean. And then like I said, Diluc is part of the other clan. And as you can see, here's Diluc and the Ragvinder clan. So yeah, him, Jean, Eula, really important people given who their families are and how far they go back in Mondstadt's history. But you know,
The sound of waves upon the shore and the rustle of leaves in a bamboo forest, they are not so dissimilar.
Kazuha, I hope you don't think I risked taking you in just to listen to your musings.
I'm aware. But we ought not waste the moonlight. Not before a big battle. Though some sake would make this better still.
A big battle, you say?
Yes. The scent on the wind is the same as on that night. The scent of danger.
Don't move!
Just a breath away until I reach the port. It seems I couldn't evade you after all.
Vision Hunt Decree! Hand over your vision!
If only you could make one exception, things could have been easier for
you. A maple leaf?
I say we lower the sails, Beidou. A storm is coming.
You know what else is coming, Kazuha? Winter. No, but it's getting cold here. Winter's coming, even though it's still just gotten into fall. But Kazuha, yeah, friends with Beidou, who's kind of not really an adoptive son, because I think they're around almost the same age. But just kind of someone she's helped, taken in and helped, and in exchange he helps her, especially when a thing comes to things with Inazuma. But yeah, during the Vision Hunt Decree, he's kind of the wanted man. You know, he's got a vision, and you know, he keeps dodging, he keeps evading them. They're trying to carry the will of the Raiden Shogun, and he's like, nope, nope, you're not taking my vision at all, at all. So you guys just better back off now. So, but he's a really cool character. Again, if you want to hear more about them and see more about them, the demos are probably the best, and I go in more depth about them there.
The Yashiro Commission's duty is to assist shrine maidens with sacred matters, and to manage distinguished artists of all kinds. Because of my upbringing, ever since I was a child, I've been studying etiquette, painting and calligraphy, tea ceremony, and the art of the sword. It's the Shirazaki Himekimi!
Meeting a foreign envoy, Miss Kamisato? Always working hard, I see.
You as well. What is this?
Ah, why these are for the coming festival. Preparations are already in full swing.
I see. It's good to be home. I can finally put all my etiquette aside for a moment. Oh, a pair of masks. When did you purchase these? But as eldest daughter of the clan... Huh? Festivals? Well, Oh, of course I've been to a festival. All right. If we go, then we mustn't let our identities be known to anyone, okay?
Oh, Ayaka, she's so sweet. So you saw in the video, you know, I talked about in the demo one how she's very dedicated to upholding old traditions. And as you can see, yeah, she outright says herself that like all these like old traditions she practices in, and whether it be calligraphy or whatever, you know, sword fighting, she practices it because one, her clan, you know, because of who she is, but also because she feels that it's a good thing to kind of keep that stuff going so that traditions aren't forgotten by anyone. I also said she has no problem at the end of a day just relaxing, just like her and her brother, who they are, you know, because the whole Japanese inspired culture, they realize that if their energy isn't in check and they're not imbalanced, they're no good to anyone. They're not going to be good to any use to themselves. They're not going to be able to function properly, and they're certainly not going to be able to perform their duties. So, you know, setting aside time for themselves, seeing like, okay, I've done my duties today. I can finally take time to just I don't have to worry about being proper. I don't have to worry about impressing anyone right now. I can just be me. And I think she was talking to the Traveler, because in the, you know, if you play in the game, they do go through the festival, and there's that really great scene where she's in the water and she's doing the dance for us. So really, really good. I Genshin Impact really does, when they do the writing well, it is better than anything in current gaming. It really is. It really is.
The best thing about summer on Narukami Island? Huh. What makes you ask that? Oh, Toma put you up to this. That's a tough one. Why don't you see what everyone else thinks?
The best thing about summer on Narukami?
Ooh, good question. Let me think.
I think we all know this one.
So, did you find the answer yet?
It isn't a thing at all.
Right, summer just
same without her.
Who else can it be?
That's right. The best thing about summer on Narukami Island. Huh? What was it?
You have this beautiful scene going on, and then Paimon comes in to ruin it. Paimon, you will find yourself in that water so fast. Okay? We rescued you the first time. We have no problem putting you back in the water. Okay? Stop ruining things. But Yoimiya, very sweet character. Very sweet. Loves fireworks. Deals with her father, who is getting older, and his hearing isn't well, and it looks like he's suffering from either dementia or Alzheimer's. So anyone who's dealing with that in real life, what it entails. So she's not only working hard to take care of her father, who's getting up there in age, but she's also having to deal with the fireworks, that business, and between either Inazuma or shipping them over to Liyue Harbor for Lantern Rite or wherever else in the world. So she's got this business to run. She's got her father to take care of. So you can imagine how much is on this girl's plate, and yet she's still always kind. So I don't think most of us could deal with it. Or she's out there just giving 3 small yokai a good time, playing with them, and so she's just a basket of energy and a basket of positive vibes.
Toma! Paimon! What is this place?
And that's when we get into the plane of Euthymia. That's A's. Her real name is A, but the Raiden Shogun's little plane of her own little realm that she goes to. We fight her the first time there, and we get our asses kicked. Like, we get our asses handed to us. The second time, Miko shows up, and we kind of have the power, the spirits, or there's just the energy of everyone, all their visions, and we become empowered, and we manage to beat her. But yeah, you see starting off with, friends and family, and one by one they die. Pretty much every place of Tevat was destroyed in some kind of way 500 years ago with Conria. That's when they found that the most death happened. Zhongli lost people. Raiden Shogun lost people. Nahida, Rukudavada died, and so Nahida was born. She was imprisoned. With Fontaine, with Focalor and Jiria, it just everything was changed when the Fire Nation attacked. But yeah, we see her. She's happy, and she's got her sister and her, everyone else, and one by one, they die. They die. Her sister dies, and then she's the one who's the Archon now. And instead of just kind of overcoming it. She just kind of shuts everyone out, believes in the idea of eternity and kind of preserving things for eternity, not really allowing any progress to happen. So I think of all the Archons who lost people during, the war, she probably took it the hardest. You have Nahida, who was sealed up for 500 years, and she's still kind and sweet. And you have A, who loses people, and she's like, I'm out. I'm out. If you need me, Plain of Euthymia, you'll find me there. Just, I'm done. I'm done. You got my little Raiden puppet here, so just, she can do the duties. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. So she didn't take it very well, but just shows how much she cares. So, damn you, Celestia. You just kept Conria, and Celestia is the one that did it. I don't want to hear it was Conria's fault.
Hey, have you heard? She's the new Divine Priestess.
Whoa, but she's so young. Do you think she can really handle it?
Remember, Kokomi, as the Divine Priestess, the whole of Watatsumi Island will be entrusted to you. Though you may not be suited for such a role, from today onward, you must strive to meet the hopes of the people.
You're right. Governing is not my forte. My true skills lie in the art of war, focused on the single purpose of victory. Our aim is to hit the enemy hard while minimizing casualties. In this battle, Gobi's and Gogeja platoons will be decoys. If successful, we will besiege them. Otherwise, Swordfish platoon will flank the enemy and burn their provisions. To lead Watatsumi Island? No, I'm far from it. War is chaos, and yet I see the method to the madness. The people are unfathomable. How can I know what their hearts desire? Please visit Sangonomiya Shrine sometime. I wish to talk.
And then Paimon's like, sure thing! Now, Sangonomiya Kokomi. As you can see, she's not only a Divine Priestess, but in the Watatsumi military, alongside Goro. And she's the tactician. And she says herself, and you heard her say it, that she tries to minimize casualties. So basically, she tries to beat her enemies by demoralizing them to the point where they just give up. To make it so utterly pointless and impossible for them to fight that they just give up and that no one has to die, because that's what she wants. She doesn't want people to die. She'd rather talk through it, but she's like, yeah, sometimes they just don't want to, so I will beat them into submission. I will make their lives so miserable, so hard, that they will beg me to stop. We will demoralize them to the point where they are rocking back and forth, crying for their mothers. All just to avoid not having to kill anyone. So, she has a good heart. Good heart. She does go about it the right way. So, I mean, war is terrible, and to minimize the casualties should be priority. Getting your point across, but also making sure no one dies. That's what she does. She's like, I don't want anyone to die. I don't care. Like, I don't want someone to die just because I don't agree with them. I think people here in the real world can learn from that. Even if you're beset by a warring nation, you shouldn't wish death upon someone. Oh no, their politics don't align with mine. I want them dead. No, she's like, yeah, I don't agree with them, and I don't like what they're doing. But I don't want any casualties. I don't want anyone to die. But, too bad some things in real life can't be like a game. Because there's a lot of people in the world who can kind of learn that lesson, that just because you disagree with someone, it's okay to disagree. You shouldn't be wishing death upon anyone just because you disagree with them. Arataki Ito, the one and only. The one and only.
Thus the Shogun deemed the Oni dangerous and dispatched its samurai to subdue them. After a fierce battle, the samurai defeated the violent Oni and, Wait, is this the right script? Anyway, in the end, humans and Oni overcame their differences, and they all lived happily ever after. Oh, what a circus.
Now that's what I call a good show. Yeah, boss! The Arataki gang rules!
My lord, look backstage.
Yes, most entertaining. Pity that the Tenryu Commission has arrived.
Arrest her! Huh? Uh-oh.
I love Ito. He's such a great character. Probably one of the most carefree of everyone. Good old bull chucker. But yeah, he's an Oni. He's a yokai. And, yeah. So he's, like, afraid of beans. You know, really goofy stuff. He thinks he's pretty strong and constantly, challenges, Sarah to a fight. And then he gets his ass whooped. And he's like, ugh, I'll get you next time. So they have a rivalry, but they're kind of like friends, you know? Because she knows that he doesn't mean any harm. He's just a goofy person. And he does help out a lot. He does, you know, and Huki is the one who kind of sets up all these events or whatever that he does. So he does do a lot of good, but he's a troublemaker. He's like Naruto. You know, he does stuff for attention. You know, he is just a goofy guy, and you know, no one takes him seriously because they know he doesn't mean it. You know, he tries to come off as this big badass, and despite his large size and his muscles, and he's just a big kid. That's really all he is. So no one takes him seriously, which is what probably gets him mad the most, because he wants to be taken seriously, but he does like the attention, whether it be good or bad.
Another nightmare. One has told you before. Be not complacent. The ropes are to be worn even while you sleep.
Yes, Master.
Rest, child. No need to train today.
You are a cursed child, and shall never have contact with anyone else.
Traveler, we offered so many tasty dishes. We're sure to get Cloud Retainer's attention, right? If she still doesn't want to meet us, then, maybe we can take all the food back.
Oh, Paimon, you ruin everything. They should make a show called Paimon Ruins Everything. But yeah, she has to wear the string, the red string, otherwise her emotions get all out of whack and she just becomes a danger. essentially. So she kind of keeps it on, even though it looks like it's just a red string or whatever. No, it's powerful. You know, it was created by the Adepti, so it's powerful stuff, and that kind of keeps her emotions in check, and so that way she doesn't lose control or become too emotional. And but you see, Cloud Retainer is kind of like a mother to her. She took her in when she was young, just like she did with Ganyu, and she's like a mother, a very, very overbearing mother sometimes, who likes to talk about her children and embarrass them. But also Shenhe, unlike Ganyu, is not an Adeptus. She's not an Adeptus. She's a powerful like one. Her strength is right up there with an Adeptus, but she's not one. She's just a human. So unlike Ganyu or Cloud Retainer or Mountain Shaper or Moon Carver or Lady Madame Ping or anyone else, Shenhe's just a human. Just a really, really, really powerful human. I guess the easiest way to equate it is like the gods of destruction. How Jiren is like on their, at least Belmont's level, even though Belmont's a god of destruction. Yeah, that's basically with Shenhe. She's like on, the same level as like these godlike figures. So that's how strong she is.
Why do I feel like the standard of writing is going down by the day? Are my editors even doing their jobs? Huh? Ooh, this one's interesting. I won't be bored out of my mind tonight after all.
What do you think, Lady Guji? Erika's got some cooking skills, huh?
The fried tofu is cooked to perfection, tender and juicy. The kushikatsu are freshly made, and the taste is quite to my liking. I'll take a few boxes worth to go, please.
Lady Guji is this world's best editor, if you ask me.
She's a crafty fox who's always playing mind games.
Truth be told, Yaemiko is an outstanding shrine maiden.
Hey, she's that fox lady I ate ramen with that time.
She's the scary lady who forces me to go to work.
A few hundred years on, and the little girl that always wanted shoulder rides is all grown up.
Miko. Miko. The High Priestess, familiar to Raiden Shogun Kitsune, so she's a yokai as well. Loves her, fried tofu, and she's the editor. She publishes books. And, yeah. She loves her a good novel, ones that interest her. And, most of the time she's probably, when she publishes and writes, obviously using her own experience, having been around for 500 years. So you can tell that she's got a lot of experience, and these scenarios that she talks about that people think are just made up. No. If you read something in there about her making someone suffer, or a character that's kind of a stand-in for her, and they're torturing or toying with their prey. Yeah. She's a fox. She's a fox. What do foxes like to do with their prey? So, despite her being a fox with sharp teeth, she's really harmless, to us at least. But if you're not harmless and you are, possessed and need to be exorcised, or a foe trying to harm Inazuma, she will make you beg. She will make you beg. You will wish that she just kills you right then and there. Because she's going to push your suffering as far as she can go. As far as it can handle. So, a lot of the stories she creates, not really stories, just personal experiences that she has written down and has another character added in place of her.
The Kamisato clan is just one of countless families in Inazuma. Hence, there is nothing exceptional about my work. I do what must be done to ensure peace and stability for my family. At home, I am the clan head, or brother. In public, I am commissioner. But ultimately, I am just a normal person. When work is busy, I don't return home for days at a time. Once the present problems are resolved, there are still future dangers to prevent. This may sound vainglorious, but I do what I do so that everyone has a home to go back to. Most inconvenient. Time to find shelter.
Huh? Hello, my lord.
What a surprise to run into you here, Ayato.
1 second. I'll go start some tea. Toromaru, come on, boy. Down you go. Hey, come on. You need to let me stand up.
My goodness, you're in high spirits. Thought you'd have a party without me.
No, actually, we came here to make some plans for your birthday.
My lady.
So that's it. The chance to work and to live life. For the sake of these, people will draw their blade.
Ayato, as you can see, big brother of Ayaka, commissioner, and just a busy guy. Unlike Ayaka, who kind of can function within, Inazuma City and kind of stay there. Like he said, he sometimes doesn't come home for days at a time because of what his job entails. So while she can be comfy and happy, he's out there. Not to say that she doesn't work hard, because she does. It's just his job is a little different. So, but, you can usually find him at the nearest stand, sipping down some boba. Or just relaxing, when he has some downtime. And, he's the kind of person where you don't want to approach him because who he is and how you think he'll react, but he's actually really welcoming. Really chill, down-to-earth guy who just takes his job seriously, which he should. Because it involves the protection of his people and Inazuma, and, you don't want to be slacking off when it comes to that. So, you see him, don't be afraid to say hi to him. He's not going to bite, unless you want him to.
Please, have mercy. We've told you everything we know.
Scram, it's not you I'm interested in.
By now she'll be preoccupied with the treasure hoarders. There's a lot to untangle with that group. They should keep her off our trail for a good week or two.
With both the chasm and the hoarders to deal with, there's no way she can keep tabs on us too. We'll have ample time to withdraw before she gets back. Who's there? Where am I? How did I...
Sorry. I know this isn't the farewell party you were hoping for.
You? What are you doing here?
My intelligence network doesn't stop operating just because I leave the city. I know all about the little games you've been playing. I'm afraid the fact that I'm back means my patience has run out. And your luck along with it.
So, intelligence, reconnaissance, gathering information. You can see she has a very unique ability. She can kind of go unseen and just, she could be watching you piss and you wouldn't even know until it was too late. Just when you think you're in the bathroom and you're doing your deed and you think you're safe, no. She could kill you mid-piss. You would never see it coming. And she's very good at what she does. And when she asks you for information, you are going to tell her. You are going to tell her, or she is going to slowly break each one of your limbs until you start talking. If you're fine with not being able to walk the rest of your life, well, keep withholding information. Keep withholding information from her. I'm sure it'll work out in the end.
Dear Master, I trust this letter finds you well. Thank you for your kind offer of an academia post, but I'm afraid I must decline. I have taken up residence in the Avidya Forest, where I work as a forest watcher. Not an illustrious position, but my proximity to the rainforest ecosystem allows me to research it in great detail. Something is ailing the forest. I'm sure of it. And just as a doctor won't abandon their patients, I will not abandon the forest. You promised me status and reputation, yet I do not care for these. Though if you are amenable, please consider sending some researchers to help investigate this strange phenomenon in the forest. Sincerely, your student, Tainari.
So yeah, forest watcher, and also has a passion for studying flora and fauna. You know, he studies the plants, so you'll see him picking mushrooms or weeds or flowers and studying the animals, and you know, and just trying to master survival, really. Testing out, you know, like I said, mushrooms. Like, okay, what happens if I eat it? So he'll try it out. It's like, okay, well, I hallucinated for about an hour. But other than that, there was no harmful side effects. But yeah, that's what he does. He, you know, not only protects the forest as a forest watcher from any incoming threat, but he also studies the animals there. He studies the plants, you know. And when it comes to animals, same thing with the plants. You know, certain animals he'll, you know, intake, taste, you know, depending on flavor, consistency, the benefit that they provide. You know, it's like, okay, well, if you're in the forest and you come across this frog, you know, you can survive even though they're small. There's enough protein packed in the small muscles that they have to make sure that you can, you know, sustain yourself. So he's, you know, and that's how it's done. You don't know anything until you try it, you know. So that's what he does. Forest watcher and passion for flora and fauna, and studying wildlife and all that great stuff, which is great. I mean, having survival skills like that, knowing no matter where you go in your own nation, that you can always survive because you know what animals you can eat, what plants you can eat, how to prepare them. So it's really good survival skill.
Then it's agreed. You ensure my personal safety, and I will share the research materials with you.
All this fuss just over some risky research. What are you so scared of?
Listen, you don't understand. The academia makes no compromises. To ensure that knowledge is used correctly, they have dedicated officers to keep tabs on all the scholars. They call them Matra. And their leader, the General Mahamatra, is the most fearsome among them. Once he has you in his sights, he won't stop until he's hunted you down.
Please, you're giving me the creeps with your ghost stories.
Found you.
Uh-huh.
A kid? Oh no! That's him! When your thugs have no idea how much I've sacrificed!
Save your energy. It's a long walk back. If you have any final words, save them for Judgment Day.
The Mahamatra. But, so, Sino, he will look for you. He will find you. And he will kill you with a dad joke. So, despite his demeanor, the way he comes across with his duty, he's a big goof. Constantly telling jokes he thinks are funny when no one else understands them. They're basically dad jokes. He loves the card game. So he's a big goof. He's a kid, a teenager, but he's young. So his duty is, taken seriously, but then when he's not doing it, he likes telling jokes and playing pranks and playing card games and, kid stuff, which is great. He has some downtime. He gets to indulge himself and in things that he likes to do. Everyone needs a hobby. For him, it's the evocation or whatever, TCG, and telling really, really bad jokes.
To me, Zubair Theater is a home away from home.
Cheers!
How are the props? I did some fixes and touch-ups. Oh, they were great. Thank you so much, Miss Nadia.
It's over. Now I don't have to hear Mr. Zubair yelling at me every day.
Oh, he's just a worry wart is all. Don't lose heart. Everyone loved your performance. Huh?
Hey, get back here, Buster!
Suave. Aw, here you are. Who's a good doggy, huh? Aw, come here. Aw. Have you been eating some extra treats? I can barely lift you anymore. Every day spent with the theater is a day full of bliss.
It's your movement. You're still not getting it.
All right, okay.
Sorry, I'm trying. Finally. We're done.
Without everyone's tireless efforts, this special place wouldn't exist. I always wish the show could last a little longer. Thank you for coming to watch our performance.
Nilu, the performer. A little ditzy, a little forgetful, but loves dancing. She loves entertaining. And she is, when we meet her, she's kind of got this whole thing going about, about performances being allowed on stage, and because this is when they're still under the control of the academia. So we kind of help her try to make her case, and so she's extremely dedicated to dancing and believes that it should be, allowed, dancing and stuff like that. It's performance, it's art. She thinks it's stupid that they're kind of forbidding it. So we kind of help her make her case and all that. And so she does what she loves, and she's passionate about it, and she will fight to the end. Well, she does kind of if I remember, she does kind of get down a bit when while it was happening, but we kind of inspire her to. It's like, no, you're doing good. Keep going. Look at everyone. They're with you. You know, because she thinks like no one's listening. And no, it's like, no, Nilu, keep going. People, look at everyone. They're not agreeing with them. They're agreeing with you. So just keep going, just a little bit more, and you've got this sealed. So she takes a little bit of a push to get her to reach her full potential, to become more confident, but she gets there, and everyone's like, yay! And yeah, it happened just like that. You could take my word for it. Oh God. I've seen this so many times, and it breaks me every time. Every time.
When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sabzerus festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sabzerus festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sabzerus festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. It was my birthday. Happy birthday, Nahida.
Oh, Nahida, man. That freaking trailer. So when it's obviously repeat. This is what should have happened. You know, when she was born. This is what should have happened. This is what ends up happening. You know, we're the ones who end up saving her. And this is what actually happened. So this was actually what happened instead of this. Yeah, so the academia, the sages find her. She's not nearly as powerful or as wise as Rukkhadevata, and so they take her gnosis and throw her into a little magic prison. They use her gnosis for themselves, and yeah. So for 500 years, she's just stuck there for 500 years. And like I said with A, you know, she lost a lot of people, and then she's like, no, I'm going to shut myself out. This girl, if anyone was to turn evil it would be this girl right here. Being stuck right here for 500 years, imprisoned by the very people you're supposed to rule over and protect. And yet she's still the sweetest thing ever. So I was so pissed when we didn't get to do anything to the academia. I'm like, you know, you know, Fontaine's just over there. Maybe we should carry out some French justice. Hey, Fontaine, any guillotines over there you guys don't need or something? We kind of need them over here at the academia real fast. I would love to see everyone in the academia who went along with it beheaded. I really would. Every one of them deserves it. Imagine 500 years. You're not able to move. This is where you are for 500 years. 24 hours a day. You're just stuck. And you're just that way for 500 years. 5 centuries you were imprisoned. It's insane. It's insane. So, you know, as you can see with the contrast to A, where she lost people and she just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm locking myself away. I can't deal with this anymore. You know, if anyone was to lock themselves away emotionally, it would have been Nahida. And yet she's still like the sweetest little thing ever. She still loves people. She still wants to be there. And so it...
Once more, I have lost my heart. It hurts. My skin feels like it's on fire, burning me alive, turning me to ash.
You mean you wish you had a heart? Have you ever heard this story before? There once was a puppet soldier whose greatest wish was to be with the ballerina doll forever and ever. But the soldier didn't have a heart and didn't know where his feelings came from. One day, his owner didn't want him anymore and threw him away into a fire. But even in the flames, his eyes never left the ballerina. The next day, the people found a tiny heart in the ashes left by the fire.
Probably ashes in the shape of a heart. But that's not a real heart.
Maybe, but what if hearts can be born from ashes?
How dare you die like this? And break your promise to me. What a joke. It's just ashes. Nothing left but ashes. If only I could have burned to death in that fire too. No. In fact, I wish I'd never been born at all. Never been born at all. Is that really all you wish for?
Scaramouche, or the Wanderer as we know him now. Yeah, he was a puppet made by Raiden Shogun, you know, A. And so, you know, he's just kind of tossed aside, and, you know, he's just kind of looking for a purpose, and everyone he meets and he grows attached to ends up dying. So he spent like 500 years being miserable, being in pain, and just hating things and hating people and hating the world. And, you know, he eventually, you know, he's so consumed by that hatred that he just loses it. But then in Sumeru, we kind of help him find a new path for himself. If we take away his memory, so he doesn't remember doing anything that he did, but he's like, no, I want to remember who I am. you know, and I want to try to make a different, you know, be different than what I was, because, you know, I'm given that choice. And so he decides to kind of become good. He's still a pain in the ass, and he's still kind of iffy with people, but he kind of sees that at least the traveler and we're not bad people. Like, hey, this guy, he could have abandoned me. He didn't. You know, I tried to kill him. He's still here. So maybe I can open up a little bit to this guy. But yeah, just being a puppet and knowing that you really don't have any real feelings of your own, or that you're not real, kind of like Albedo, because Albedo's not a real human. He's creation, by Gold or Rhine So knowing you have all these people, you know, and they wake up and they're humans, they're flesh and blood. You wake up, you're a puppet. You don't have real emotions or, you know, a heart or whatever, or at least you don't think you do because of the way you were made. So you like live your life a certain way, but
the origins of writing are lost to time, and it is forbidden to investigate the genesis of language. But since their inception, these symbols have silently recorded everything. The skies, the stars, the mountains, and the birds. Conflict, peace, and people from all walks of life. Words are strung together and edited, history made, and archived for posterity. The scribe records not only the truth, but the questions it leaves unanswered. Many of them will remain unanswered forever. The profoundest eternal questions are met only with a boundless and eternal silence.
Dia, can the wall really keep the sandstorms out?
She never meant for it to keep anything out.
Don't you think Somero City's a bit far, Dia? She'll get homesick. Besides, who knows how the people in the rainforest will treat her?
Please, can't you let us in?
No, entry's prohibited.
But the sandstorm is raging, and we have a child with us.
You hard of hearing, no means no.
Come on. This way, quick. Easy now. Watch your step. Don't worry. If they do find you, I'll handle it. Relax. Just trust the Dendro Archon. Things are different now.
Whatever you say. But what are you planning with all that Mora? Isn't that like your whole life savings?
You'll see when we get there.
All right, we'll take good care of the girl. Your generous donation will be used to provide for the desert orphans. I'll need a name for the fund.
How about the Wall of Hope? That wall was never meant for keeping things out. It was for protection. I hope the kids can forget about all the sandstorms and have a chance at a real life.
okay, so first, Yo, we've got a few more. How many more do we have? Quite a few, like a few more to go. Um, we're already an hour and 30 minutes in, so unless they're like a huge character, probably won't be saying anything. Also, Chang Shang right there with the little she's so adorable. She's so adorable. She's just so adorable. Right. Hang on. Just let me check one. Yeah, we got Fontaine next. Yeah.
Prepare 10 parts of violet grass and 3 of star conch shells. Mash them together with some fresh glazed lilies. Filter with gauze. Filter with gauze and consume the resulting herbal brew. Oh? Does something about this prescription displease you?
Oh, not at all. I have complete confidence in your prescriptions. They work every time. It's just that this prescription is for a pair of siblings based in Mondstadt.
Mondstadt? Then these ingredients will not be easy to procure.
Most of them are fine. It's just the glazed lilies. They don't come cheap, especially not fresh ones. Poor Anthony will have to work a lot of extra hours to afford this.
This new prescription, though not as fast-acting, will allow gradual recovery and buildup of strength, making it well-suited to someone who's been suffering from a long illness. The needed ingredients can also be found around Mondstadt.
Wait, dendro-processed berries?
Strange afflictions require stranger remedies, no? I have another backup solution. You'll need to boil some frog skins and lizard tails before adding a few drops of Chang Shang's venom.
This one will be fine.
Wait a minute. A few drips of what from whom?
Oh, Chang Shang, she's so adorable. She's so sweet. A living, breathing serpent. I think when we first meet Baiju, I think Paimon refers to her as medicine, and then she gets offended. She's like, I'm not a medicine. I'm a living, breathing serpent. And she's a lot more than a living, breathing serpent. I'll tell you that much. she's a lot more. There's a reason why she's with Baiju, and there's a reason why he's such a good doctor. So.
People yearn to transcend the mundane world. That which is mysterious captivates us all. So, did you have a good look?
Yep. The hat's definitely empty. Whoa! Amazing! How did you do that?
In the space of a short performance, a magician must shatter the barrier between reality and fantasy, giving the audience a glimpse of the extraordinary.
Oi, this isn't what I ordered. I clearly asked for a cider.
Hey, you asked for a glass of our finest wine. Maybe you've had enough.
Oh, yeah, right. You think I don't know what I ordered?
There. How about you take another look at your drink?
Yeah, that's the stuff. The sweet smell of apples. What the? I swear I was just holding.
In the eyes of most people, magic tricks are like miracles. But as magicians, we prefer to think that great miracles are like magic tricks. people yearn to transcend the mundane world.
Many questions have long perplexed me. I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take me. It's as if there's something I've forgotten since the very beginning.
So, why don't you try to find the answer for yourself?
Monsieur Novelette, the next trial is about to begin.
Thank you for the reminder.
It's not like you to zone out, Monsieur Novelette.
I recalled some things from my past. Events from a very long time ago. To me, humanity is like a pool of water in which I see my reflection. Only through observing them can I slowly come to understand myself. The court is now in session.
Ooh, Nicolette. Woo. That man. That man. Yeah, he's a spoiler alert. He's a Hydro Dragon. Well, the reincarnation of the Hydro Dragon. It's really, he is the Hydro Dragon, like the original. It's just he died. He came back in this different form, which they can do. They can choose to come back as they were or in a different form. He came back in a different form. But he's been in Fontaine for about 500 years. Yeah. He was kind of the one who was the determining factor on whether or not Fontaine was flooded. Basically, it kind of all rided on him. If he chose to forgive Fontaine, then they'd be spared. Once he got his powers back, because once he got his powers back, he's in full control of Hydro, so he can stop the flood if he wants. Because Celestia may be powerful, but the Hydro Dragon, the elemental dragons, they have full mastery over the elements. So, if he chose to forgive them, he could stop the flood. And if he chose, nope, I'm sticking to the original sin here, you guys deserve to die, he could have the whole nation flooded and everyone would dissolve. But 500 years of living with them, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to let them die because of something that wasn't their fault. Egeria just wanted what was best for her familiars. They wanted to be human, so that's what she did. She just made them human. And not even real humans. They were just like what he describes as just their mimics. They have a human form, but what's pumping through them isn't blood. It's primordial seawater. But by forgiving the people of Fontaine, he not only gave them blood so that they were true humans, but he kind of averted the whole Fontaine being flooded thing. But just a great character. Everyone loves Monsieur Neuvillette, especially when he says, according to the judgment of the Ortrice Mécanique d'Annalise Cardinal. I remember the first time I played it because I had seen that little stupid meme so many times. It's like this emotional scene. It's supposed to be intense, but as soon as you hear according to the judgment, you're like, oh god, I can't. No, I can't do this right now. No, screw you, TikTok. According to the judgment of the Ortrice Mécanique d'Annalise Cardinal.
Your Grace, Fontaine's Child Welfare Services has already made all the necessary arrangements. You needn't escort the criminal personally.
I just want to ensure this task isn't left to someone who lacks propriety.
Hello? Who is it?
It's Risley, your father's colleague. I'm here with his friend.
his stuff, so you'll have to give him a minute.
That's all right. He has a long journey ahead after all.
All right. Be a good girl and stay out of trouble while I'm away, okay?
I will. Your friend here's super nice. Not like the other guy. He looks scary.
Hey, that's not very polite.
It's quite all right.
Bye-bye. Come back soon, Daddy. I'll miss you.
I will. Don't worry. Thank you for extending your sympathy, Your Grace. I thought I wouldn't be able to see her again.
I only sympathize with her. Love should be warm, but to you, it's become a form of punishment. Let's go. Next time you see your daughter, I hope you'll have become a better father.
Risley, stern but fair. Stern but fair. Being a former inmate of the Fortress of Meripede himself and kind of rising to the top, he knows what it's like for them. So he tries to be as fair as possible, as compassionate as possible, but obviously his patience and his kindness does have a limit. But basically you show him respect and you show the other people living in the Fortress of Meripede respect, and you'll get shown respect yourself. You know, obviously you don't ask him anything that is well beyond his power to do. Don't continuously ask him for things. You know, don't be like the one person who goes to him like every day, Miss, your grace, and like every day is the same thing. Yeah, don't do that. You know, you'll be on much better term. You know, if other people are bothering you, just like ignore it. If you're that person like they're making my life, it's just, he's not gonna deal with it. He's not gonna deal with it. You're like, how would you like a cup of tea? But you know, he's willing to extend a kindness, even if it is just for a little girl to be able to see her father, even if it's not for the father himself. But you can see he's not without sympathy. He's not without compassion. He's like, yeah, maybe the next time you see him, you'll be a better father. Not like, oh, you're never gonna see your daughter again. It's like, no. By the next time you see her, I hope you're a better father. So, Risley, really, really cool guy. Loves him some tea. Any kind, whether it be, you know, domestic or, you know, something a little more far away. He's a man of taste and of culture, and he loves him some tea. Farina, one of the best written characters, not just in Genshin, but of any modern game. When you play through the Archon quest, when you get to Act 5, you will be broken. You'll either be bawling or you will be like, who the hell is cutting onions right now? It is just amazing writing. She is one of the best characters. Again, just well-written characters, not only in the game, but in modern gaming. Everyone, no matter how tough they think they are going in, no matter how tough they think they are, you get to Act 5, you find out how tough you actually are. You will be in tears. When you go through her story and you learn more about her and what she's had to do for 500 years, the cutscenes, the paired with the music, and it'll break you. It really will break you. And it just shows Hoyoverse is amazing when it comes to telling these stories. Some of the best in gaming, in modern gaming. And yeah, seriously, if you haven't played the game, I would say play it just to get up to that, because you will see that even though it's further in the game, you will get up to be like, I can see what they're talking about. I mean, every one of the Archon quests is amazing, every one of them. But like Sumeru and Nihida, Farina, they're so well written. And you'll be like, wow, this is a free-to-play game. This game has no business being this good. The music, the cutscenes, the voices, the storytelling, it has no business being this good for a free-to-play game.
This invitation is yet to be sent. He doesn't have a fixed residence, so addressing the letter has proved problematic.
Don't worry, I'll deliver it. If you find the target, report to me.
Yes, mademoiselle.
Celebrating Poisson's reconstruction be without you? Come on, partner. Let's go.
Huh? A story about Master? Let me think. Master's a great inventor. When I was a child, she made all kinds of toys for me. Too advanced for me. But they always showed me how much she cared.
You want to hear a story about Master? Master might say she likes peace and quiet, but she doesn't mind getting visitors on Mount Outsong. In truth, she does get lonely if no one ever goes to see her.
Cloud Retainer, you say? Yes, I know a tale or two. There was a time when she preferred to appear in human form, and was revered as a bold and decisive figure.
Really? Aw, we've never seen her in that form before.
Who speaks about one behind one's back?
Not to worry. I'm sure you will have the chance to very soon.
Of course, Zhongli would have a tale or two to tell because Cloud Retainer was right there with him when he founded Liyue 3,000 years ago. Cloud Retainer, Mountain Shaper, Moon Carver, Gui Zhang was alive at the time. So along with all the Adepti. He founded Liyue and all that. And little baby Ganyu. And remember, Ganyu's old. So that was a very long time ago. But she was so adorable. Just little baby Ganyu with a little, oh my gosh, she's adorable. And then you have Shenhe, who's not nearly as old, but she's, she was taken in because her family, her father was a complete piece of crap. And she had all this power, and someone needed to help her kind of retain it. But yeah, you know, despite the fact that she's got Mooncarver and Mountain Shaper as allies and compatriots, they don't come see her very much. They do hang out. They all hang out. But they're kind of doing their own thing, usually hanging out together. The two coots in cahoots. The old coots in cahoots, as she calls them. You know, playing their little reindeer games, while Cloud Retainer is left to her own devices. That's why she has Ganyu and Shenhe, and despite the fact that she pretends like she doesn't want the company and she doesn't need mortals to. She does like the company. She likes to be able to tell stories. She likes to be able to show off her inventions, you know, especially to humans and mortals. Like, one cannot simply comprehend the indescribable, you know, talent one possesses when it comes to tinkering. And you'll just sit there like, yay! And she's like, yeah, I'm the best. But she likes the company. Despite what one says, one does enjoy the company once in a while, as one does get lonely on the mountain.
Hello? Is someone gonna tailor my suit?
What were you thinking? Why would you keep a Tenryo Commission official waiting?
But he was last in line.
Foolish girl. You are no apprentice of mine!
Did you hear me?
Hey, it's first come, first served. This wedding dress needs to be ready for fitting by nightfall. Eloth, raise the waist a little higher to accentuate her figure. And the sleeves need shortening. I'll fetch the material. Got it.
I knew it. That dress is for Letitia, isn't it? Always dreamed of wearing a Chiori wedding dress. Aww. So some poor girl's dumb dream is more important than my business dinner? Huh?
Oh my, so sorry. I was looking for my fabric shears. Those were the wrong ones.
This was an expensive suit.
Oops. Oh, not those ones either.
What are you gonna do?
What do you mean? I thought you wanted your suit tailored.
Chiori, who'd you throw out this time?
What are you saying? I did nothing. This one jumped out all by himself. He better pay me for the window.
This can't happen again.
You're right. Next time I'll lock the windows too.
As you can see, Chiori runs a boutique, and she's very good at what she does. World-renowned. And that guy was just a major jerk, and he deserved everything. Chevreuse is obviously her friend, along with a lot of the people in Fontaine. She's friends with Kirara. And yeah, she just likes making dresses and suits and tailoring and this and that. But the name of Chiori is known worldwide because of her boutique. And yeah, she doesn't worry about losing customers because she knows that she's the best around and nothing's going to ever keep her down. Okay. Next one. Before I start making some more useless references.
I'm sorry, Father. I was reckless. When I saw those emaciated patients, those poor children, the futile hope in their eyes.
I've told you before, recklessness always leads to failure. But it was not wholly in vain. I shall settle the rest.
fools. They will never know the wonders of wealth. Huh?
Step on me, mommy. I mean, step on me, father.
Father, your face.
Fremine, we can take in a few more homeless children next year. I have acquired some new funds.
Oh, okay.
Mission accomplished. You can sleep now. Thank you. Once I'm better, I'll start my next mission. Those who parade their virtues often do the most evil. We are not like them. Rest in peace, Snezhevna, my child.
Arlecchino. Father. Yeah. So people think like she, like I said with the demo, they think that she's like this cold, distant, evil person. But no, you can see she cares a lot. She sees her children, in pain, and she will make you suffer. And once you prove yourself to her, she will protect you, even if you mess up. As you saw, this girl clearly was injured, fatally injured. But she didn't scold her. She's like, I'm going to go deal with this. So she comes back and you see the blood on her face. She's like, it's taken care of. You can rest now. So she's a good parent. She is a really good parent. And as she says to us at the end of the Fontaine, Archon storyline, she just wears a mask, and she just changes it when she needs to. She's not really this cold, distant person. She's very kind and loving, and once you earn her respect, she'll protect you. Whatever needs to happen will happen. And so she's got, Fremine, Linny, Lynette, and all the other kids, the House of the Hearth, that she kind of takes care of. And so she cares, I think maybe she cares too deeply for people, or at least for her kids. But she's a good mom or father, whichever one you want to say. Deadly, one of the more powerful harbingers. And again, she'll fight you. She'll have you fight her to kind of have you prove your strength to her. And even if you don't win, she wants you just to kind of go into battle with the intent to kill. Obviously, even if you never lay a finger on her, she doesn't care about that. She wants you to go in and fight her as if you're trying to kill her. Once she sees that, she has nothing but respect for you, whether it be an outsider or one of her children. So, it's tough love. She cares so deeply that she wants her children to be as strong as possible so they can protect themselves. But should they fail, obviously Mama has no problem stepping in and getting her hands bloody.
When the accused denigrate the law and question... Some say that champion duelists are to Fontaine as the safety is to a musket. Which is to say, a chance to defend one's honor and avoid the scrutiny
of the prosecution. A way to unload the pent-up emotion in the courtroom without a violent eruption. But there's another way of looking at it, namely, when the accused denigrate the law and question its authority, we must safeguard the dignity of the court. And as a last resort, we will do so by force.
In that case, Mr. Mescal, please confirm whether I understand the defense's position correctly. You vehemently oppose the law, refuse to stand trial, and request an alternative recourse to defend the honor of your guild.
That's right. I demand a duel.
Too often, it is only when the safety is disengaged and the champion duelist takes aim that they finally realize whose hand controls the gun.
The request for a duel is approved. This decision is irreversible.
Neuverlette's like, you're basically fucked. He's like, according to the judgment of the Ortrice Mécanique d'Analyse Coronel, you're fucked. 100%. You're screwed.
Dear Monsieur Neuvillette, how are you? I haven't written in a while, so I thought I'd send you an update.
Siege Ween.
The Duke tells me that you're always asking after me. Please, don't worry. Everyone at the Fortress of Meripede is really nice to me.
Walsey, we've had it with you.
What even is this? It's completely inedible.
Suck it up and eat it.
The food here is delicious, and the people are super friendly. The other Melusines come by to visit me sometimes. They're always full of praise for the fortress, and they get along great with everyone here. Sneaky sticker for you. This one's really cute. Let's give it to a cute person. You once said we have to discover the meaning of life for ourselves. I think you're completely right. Life at the fortress is often pretty uneventful, so my infirmary is empty a lot of the time.
He's down! He's down! Ha! Too easy.
But everyone trusts me, which is really great. I really like being a head nurse. Anyway, the Duke and I are planning on taking a trip out, so we'll definitely see you soon.
I look forward to it.
Hope you're not too busy. We're here.
Oh, Siege Ween, she's so precious. She always asking about Monsieur Neuvillette, and whenever Neuvillette's around, he's always asking about her. You know, how is Miss Siege Ween? And Raizu's like, Siege Ween? Oh, she's fine. She's just down in the infirmary right now, taking care of some people. But she's a Melusine, and probably the best to take care of people because they can read humans. They can tell you what's wrong with you before you even know. So, and Siege Ween, don't let her fool you. I said with the demo, if she wants you to stay in bed to get better, she will break both of your legs to make sure you do so. Because she will ensure, it's like, well, your broken legs, I can fix those. But right now you're suffering from an illness and that can kill you. So if I have to break your legs to keep you here, I'm more than happy to do it. I will break every bone in your leg with a smile. And she'll just see you. You'll just be there, and she'll just look down at you as she's snapping your legs, and she's got the biggest smile on her face because she knows she's doing you a kindness by helping you, by making sure you get the rest you so desperately deserve and need. She's a good person. She just wants to help, even if it is extreme sometimes. But she obviously mad respect for Monsieur Nivelette. She constantly writes to him, constantly asks about him. He asks about her when he comes to the fortress and talks to Risley, and they get a chance to meet each other sometimes, and sometimes they don't. But they do keep in contact, and obviously he contacted her to maybe, I think either he did or she just kind of, either way, she shows up at the trial, Farina's trial. He's like, Miss Siegeween, if you're attending, please come here. Please come here. Come on stage. Okay, we need you. So they've got a really good relationship. And she's just sweet. She's as sweet as sugar, but don't have too much of her. You might get diabetes. And then she might have to break your legs and keep you in bed so she can treat you for it.
A perfume can tell you a lot about the person wearing it. Mint and fruity aromas express a yearning for youthful vigor, while notes of cedar and amber show a desire to appear mature. And though a fragrance fades with dilution, evaporation, and aging, so long as you filter out the impurities to remove interference, the perfume will still tell its story. The top note is citrus and tea leaves, with neroli and roses coming through in the middle note, and a grounded, woody base note. A very heavy fragrance with great longevity, rather on the expensive side. Rest in peace. Perfume can tell you a lot, even when the wearer can no longer speak for themselves.
We'd arranged to go camping up on the summit, but when I got up there, I couldn't find her. She must have slipped and fallen.
That's her friend's statement. What do you make of it?
It's unusual to meet at the summit, especially for someone who's never been mountain climbing before. The claim that she fell is a lie.
Oh? Why so sure?
There was no sweat among the impurities present, and no lady in their right mind would apply such a heavy fragrance before a climb.
Being a guide in Natlan isn't easy. You never know what can happen on an unfamiliar road.
Stop right there! Hand over all your Mora!
A bad lady! I'm scared!
Still, as the elders say, if you can solve a problem with Mora, might as well take the easy road. You're new at this, aren't you? First robbery? This is for you. Not because you tried to take it, but because you're about to do me a favor. Oh, you know this area, right? Could you take us somewhere?
Okay.
Whoa! It's here! It's really here!
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have done this if there was any other way.
Shh! Come with me!
Today was awesome! You're not a bad person after all!
Not anymore. I can show you more places later.
Yay!
Being a guide sounds like a pretty cool job.
The elders also say, beautiful scenery and good friends are worth their weight in gold.
Guess I hit the jackpot.
"土は柔らかいのに足跡の縁は鋭い。残されたばかりだな。結婚の感覚が徐々に狭まってる。毒矢が効いたが、もう限界のはずだ。
なんでこんな回りくどいやり方すんだよ。
それじゃこの依頼の値段を決められない。
200万モラだ。こいつを八神のところに送れ。
それじゃ高すぎる。
金が多いのを指摘されるのは初めてだ。だが兄弟が何人も命を落としてる。その代償を払ってもらわねえと。
ならちょっと安すぎるな。
キーニチ、腕が立つんだろ。でなきゃこんなうまい話は回ってこねえ。どうするかよーく考えるこった。
ああ、ただしお前もな。俺は適切な値段でしか受けない。
あの爬虫類、偉大なる清流クフルアンハンを崇めたいって言ってるぜ。
要点を言え。
あの連中、子供をさらいに来たんだってよ。誘拐犯の悪党らしいぜ。
なるほど、竜を狙う常習犯だったか。毒は半日で消える。悪いな、200万じゃ足りないようだ。
おう、竜狩りの小僧、もう終わったのか。
いや、提示したモラでは足りないと伝えに来た。
は？どういう意味だ。
アハウ、こいつらは報酬としてお前にやる。
大つくばりの主ども、偉大なる清流クフルアンハンを前に恐れおののけ。
これが適切な値段だ。
Ancient names are Natland's generational legacy. They are records of our past and chronicles of our heroes. Behind every echo, a timeless victory. Every canopy, an unseen conflict. And every spring, a heated battle. But from one generation to the next, history can change. The slightest distortion poisons our legacy.
Everyone wants wealth and fame.
Power means you never yield.
Protect others at your peril.
Fact, legacy, and true history. That is what I forge. With the blood of this land. A hero is engraved in stone. Their legacy, immortal in this name. This blessing, forged in flame. Luongozo is complete.
Ancient names. So she's kind of like, because she forges them, she's probably one of the most important people in Natlan. Because ancient names are given to the heroes, and they're kind of like a way to keep the history alive, giving the the current generation the names of these great heroes from Natlan's past, ensure that their memory is not only remembered and their story is continued, but also kind of whoever this ancient name is given to, it kind of almost imbues them with the power, the essence of this former hero. And without the people with the ancient names and stuff like that, Natlan doesn't really have much of a history. It's you know, that's one of the importance of the ancient names, is carrying on the legacy and history of the nation. And if those names aren't around, it's like the history didn't happen. It's like Irminsul being wiped out. It's like you just forget. You know, like all the memories and stuff in Irminsul. So once it's gone, it's gone. You know, you're not going to be able to reclaim the history that was lost. And I think she was the last one. Oh no, Shaska is actually the last one. That one just came out yesterday, I think.
Yasha, the Inca gang called dibs on this job.
And that means it's yours? Not in my book.
Yasha, back down, or you're not gonna like how this ends.
We had an understanding, but taking you out sounds like a better deal.
Boss, now's our chance. Let's get him. We'll show you. Yeah, let's go. Kokosaur?
She's here.
Inca, Yasha, do me a favor before this gets ugly. Let's talk this out, shall we?
Jaska, this will end in blood. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Enough talking. Let's fight.
2 against 1, huh? Looks to me like you put aside your differences without me.
Jaska, we came to spill blood, and that blood is yours.
With you out of the way, we won't have to watch our backs. How's that for peacemaking? Here's a little gift from the Inca and Yasha gangs.
What a mess.
Little late for regrets. Don't you think?
You misunderstand me. Dealing with you, that's the easy part.
Another fight? You're still injured. Safety first. How many times do I have to tell you?
They were hardened criminals. They can't be reasoned with. So I had to... I almost forgot. My messes don't need excuses anymore.
Oh, that hits hard. That hits hard. Chaska was exposed to the abyss, and she kind of has a lot of it in her body, so she can kind of deal with it, but she does lose it sometimes. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Her sister. That's what the whole, you know. But yeah, she's a new, not a new character, but this was the newest demo, or trailer rather. She looks pretty cool. She can like fly around on like her gun thing, but also we seem to be getting like flying mount kind of experience with the Kukasaurs, and which is really cool. But for her being able to harness the abyssal power, but also have to risk losing herself to it. I also just love, she's like holding out her bow, and like they're just like little taps almost to her. She's just like holding her bow out, and 2 people at her, and she's just like, so, hang on. Yeah, I'm dealing with something right now. Oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yep, just people are just holding things up right now. Yeah. I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay. Okay. Bye. So she's extremely powerful, and I hopefully, I think with the Traveler being able to kind of purify what's been tainted by the abyss, We will eventually kind of alleviate that kind of strain from her. Hopefully that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Especially she doesn't want to lose herself, to the point where something bad happens, and any kind of memory of her sister would bring back bad memories, and that could cause her to. So I think she'll probably be purified at some point. But yeah, that was the last of the trailers. Well, like I said, a lot of them I hadn't seen. Pretty much most of them, like the Mondstadt Leeway ones, I've seen all of those. But basically, Inazuma on, I mean, like maybe one or two of them. So this was a reaction. But anyway, let me know anything you can think of. Favorite trailer, favorite character, whatever it is. How long have you been playing? What's your favorite style of eggs? What apple do you find most delicious? Yeah, I don't care. Just something. Just something. Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.